Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you're all well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jasmine. I'm a practicing social worker and I share my experiences here on the channel, both social work and non-social work related. Go ahead and subscribe, show some love, show some support, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because it really helps me out a lot. Let's get right into it. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about common mistakes that you're likely to make as a new social worker. A lot of the time, the way systems are structured can impact on how we're able to support clients and resolve issues that they might be presenting with. Sometimes your caseload is just way too big. You can't even give enough attention to the clients that you might be working with. There's so many barriers that might impact on your ability to meet client needs completely. So you can't always help everybody. You can do your best, but you can't always help everybody. And that's something that I didn't necessarily think about in that way before I started practicing social work. The other mistake I made was once I finished uni, I thought, okay, I'm ready to be a social worker now. I think I have it all down pat, and I don't think I came out feeling like I know it all and I don't need to know anything more, but I thought I was ready, but I really wasn't. Once I started practicing, I realized that I didn't even know half of what I needed to know before I started practicing. But it's one of those careers where you can't learn as much before you start practicing. The most important things you would learn will be on the job, and that's just how it is. So you just have to be really open-minded and just know that you don't know, and you don't know half of what you need to know, and everything that you're going to be living by and working with and stuff like that in your job, you're most likely to learn on the job. The other thing is, it's important to not be so solution focused. Sometimes as social workers, we know that our job is to help people and support them to, achieve positive outcomes in their lives and stuff like that. And it's very easy to get caught up in okay, this is the problem, this is what we're going to do to resolve it. This is the problem, this is what we're going to do to resolve it. First of all, the client might not be in a space where they're ready to take on these solutions that you're offering. Second of all, the client may just want to be heard. Maybe their whole life they haven't had anyone listen to them, so maybe they just want you to listen to their problems and not necessarily offer solutions right now. It can be really unhelpful if a client is trying to open up to you and all you keep doing is giving solutions. Sometimes they just need a listening ear, and it's really important to be aware of this as a new social worker. The other thing which is funny to me is and it was really, I don't think it was a mistake, it was just something that I didn't think about, was that I would ever need therapy. As a social worker, you're listening to traumatic stories on the daily. The chances that this will impact on you is very, very high. It might not be immediate, but within third year, fourth year, somewhere around there, you'll most likely start to feel the impacts of listening to traumatic stories on a daily basis. So you'll probably get to the point where you might want to see a therapist for yourself. I never thought, it's easy to think that, oh, I had an alright childhood, everything was okay, I don't think I need a therapist. But as a social worker, chances that you might get to that point is very, very high. So that's something that you need to be open to if it does come up, because it can be very helpful once you have a therapist that's seeing you. The other thing is, it's very easy to think that resolving clients' problems will be a very linear process where you see them, you do an assessment, and you know what's happening, and you offer all these solutions, and they'll go and participate in those solutions and everything will be okay. A lot of the time that's not the case. Trauma can be a very, very common thing with a lot of our clients, so it takes a lot of work to get to the point where they can even start to consider these solutions that you're offering. Second of all, systems and availability of services, wait lists, things like that can make everything cumbersome. And the other thing is, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with human beings. People come with different personalities, so forming relationships and stuff like that can be very different for everybody. If you're working with involuntary clients, that might look different. So if you're working with voluntary clients, Sometimes clients don't even want to see you, they don't want to hear of you, they don't want to talk to you. So it's never like you go from A to B. A lot of the time you go to this point, come to that point, come to that point, and sometimes you don't even get to the final destination that you were hoping to get to. Sometimes you do. Sometimes the client might drop out. Sometimes the client might stop seeing you. Like, different things can happen. So a lot of the time it's very unpredictable. So just be aware of that and be open to it should it come up. The other thing is, you might think that all your clients will like you because you're there to help them. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes, especially if you have to work with involuntary clients, a lot of the times they don't want to see you, they don't want to hear of you. Like, go away, leave them alone, stop interfering with their lives. So, you know, it might take a while for you to build that rapport and get to a point where they actually can understand and can see that you really are here to support them and to work with them. So yeah, I wouldn't go in thinking that everybody's gonna like me. That's definitely not going to be the case. The last and final thing that I'd like to mention is, it's very important to be aware of your own judgments. I feel like you become very aware of your own judgments once you start practicing social work, because when you work with people that have experienced different forms of trauma and stuff like that, you really start to understand that people are the way they are because of how they've grown up and their childhood experiences and their experiences along life in general, up until this point in time. So you really start to be empathic and you really seek to understand why people behave the way they do. So if you have any biases or anything that you think you know and you think this is how it is and stuff like that, it's important to be really flexible and open-minded about it, especially because you're going to be working with people. If you really want to make a change and if you really want to see progress in people, you have to put all those biases aside and try to be as open-minded as possible. It's really, really important. That's the best way to move forward. I feel like for me right now, I've become really aware of people's behaviors and why they might be the way they are, but the downside to that is now I judge people who judge people for being the way they are, if that makes sense. So that's not very helpful either. So that's something that I'm working on. But anyways, that is pretty much it, guys, for this video. If you have found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, leave your questions below if you guys have any experiences that you've had as social workers that you think is important for new social workers to be aware of that I didn't mention in this video. Make sure you leave it in the comment section below, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.